Welcome, viewers, to another fabulous episode of Unapologetically Free. Today, I am going to talk about wet dream and whether or not it is considered relapse. Okay? So, what happened is just yesterday I experienced wet dream. For those of you that don't know what wet dream means, basically you have a dream that is quite sensual in nature, and when you wake up you realize that you have just blow a load in your pants, okay? And based on my experience yesterday, what I always like to explain as the sun in the chest, this sense of energy near the chest area, it's started to mildly dissipate, not fully, not in the same way that I would feel when I relapse normally. It mildly dissipated, and throughout the day, I felt more anxious. Now, the reason why this happened was I was browsing websites on my phone, and I just got triggered by some very mildly sexual images online. Okay, I realized that wet dreams don't happen randomly. There is often a stimulus that causes you to have a wet dream. So for those of you who really want to take No Fap to a whole new level, absolute abstinence, not even mildly suggestive images. That is my experience, and maybe it's different for you. Do comment if that's the case. Now, one of the things that I want to mention here is that having a wet dream very likely does not stop brain healing in any way. Now, if you have been on my channel long enough, you would have realized that I talk about how No Fap, there's two parts to it: the physical part of semen retention and the mental part of brain healing. Having a wet dream is indeed physically discharging your semen, okay? You still experience things such as a loss of nutrients, okay? Because scientifically speaking, and according to physics, when the semen is out of your body, it is no longer in your body, and therefore all the nutrients that are contained in the semen are now lost. And that is why perhaps I experienced those anxiousness, and the confidence in my chest just mildly dissipated very lightly. And therefore, if you experience wet dream, actually, number one, it is good news because it means that you have perhaps gone quite far into the No Fap challenge. But number two, I realize is that if you frequently edge, if you frequently just browse suggestive images or videos online, or even just watch pornography online, after days of not experiencing such stimulus, it is very likely, okay, that on that day, at least according to my personal experience, that on that day you will experience a wet dream. And if you do, just treat it as part of the process. Some people that I know have never experienced a wet dream before because they always fap since they were conscious even of what it means to have a dick. Okay, so those of you out there, just don't get freaked out by a wet dream. Continue going on the journey, and you will definitely reap the benefits of No Fap. Till then, I'll see you again.